Sorry,
Yeah.
that
No, you're good. You answered like so many things in like a half hour thing. It was very impressive. Um, uh, yeah. Wait, I know this is like in the middle of the interview, but I'm thinking of moving to DC after I graduate, and so it's very helpful to hear about like all of your experiences because like I don't know, I'm in North Carolina, you know, and I'm in a fucking tiny ass college in the middle of nowhere, and so like there's like amazing like abolitionist community and a lot of really cool like black trans organizers and organizers of color in like Charlotte, which is like 40 minutes from me, and like Raleigh and Durham, which are like 2.5 hours away. But it is like at my school especially, it's very much a like build it yourself, like you are the only person who has got you as a person of color, as a queer person of color, as an organizer, like any of that stuff. So it's
yeah,
very interesting to hear about going to like, because I feel like especially like my school is very small. It's not a state school. It's like under 2,000 people. So like there is something like I don't know. I guess it's fucking exhausting to have to build it all yourself. You know what I mean? And to have no support.
absolutely. Oh my God. Like it's empowering and wonderful and fucking exhausting. You need
Yeah,
rest to just continue to be a person.
literally. Like, cause like I have like helped to like build like multiple organizations like while I've been here, and I've been like, oh my god, it's amazing. And it's like, yeah, you are very impressive, but it's like you have to be. And I'm just like, I'm a senior now, and I'm just tired. I can't do it anymore. Like we literally like are so dead by the time you get to like being 21 or 22 years old because you've spent
Yep,
so many years having to build everything yourself.
exactly. And then you talk to people in like these other states and you try to explain like the feeling of the burnout and like the feeling of like having the literal weight of your state on your shoulders and like all of your local community members and how like simultaneously life or death but also every day all of it is, and they're just like, wow, that sounds really hard, I deeply empathize for you. Also, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah,
No, I and if you have like in general just questions about DC, like feel free to talk to me about it. I'm happy to answer. I will say that like in terms of abolitionist communities locally, there is a really good org called Be Heard DC that works
mm-hmm.
specifically with like deaf Black folks who are currently incarcerated and are working towards complete prison abolition. And they're doing a lot of really good work. Um, and they're really, really great. And they're definitely not the only ones up here. It's just kind of a matter of like finding the specific niches that kind of fit what you're looking for.
Yeah, that is really good to know. And I would definitely love to talk to you more about that. Especially because I'm like, I want some radical South Asian community. And I feel like I could get that in DC, which is a very exciting prospect.
Yes.
Um, yeah, because yeah, like I said, I'm super burnt out. So I'm trying to get like a job that isn't organizing related and that will simply like pay me money. But I really want to be invested in communities outside of that, you know what I mean? So yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely be hitting you up about that. And yeah, I feel like the other thing about like organizing in the South is that there's so much like disrespect from other people who organize in like other like areas of the country when it comes to organizing in the South.
Why don't you just flee Texas? And it's like, you have no idea how complex a statement you just actually accidentally stumbled into.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, why don't you just leave? And it's like, A, there's people who absolutely under no circumstances can leave. That
Mm-hmm.
people have businesses and homes and mortgages and careers and lives that take time to rip up and move elsewhere if they have the ability to do so. But B, like, the amount of queer people in Texas and trans people especially is not static. Kids are coming out as these things are happening, and
Yep.
these are being born that will eventually come out. Like,
Yeah,
this is
you
a
can't just leave the whole area to like be, I don't know, it's like people are never not going to be queer and trans and people of color in the South. We're never all going to leave. So what do you mean just like leave?
exactly like just leave and leave even fewer resources for the handful of people that are there, because clearly there's only a handful. Like, no. But also by that same standard, like I get what the sensation of it is, which is if you have a trans child, holy shit, it, grab that child and run. I get
Yeah.
that like absolutely. I understand that instinct, and probably that would be what I was feeling if I had a trans child and was living in Texas.
Yeah.
But by that same standard, encouraging just everyone to up and leave while simultaneously we're getting flooded with fucking QAnon. Like, let's make the environment even worse and more toxic for trans people than it currently already is. And it's just like people have no idea what waters they're wading into because they don't think they mean any of that when they say it.
Mhm.
But they do. That's what's happening.
Yeah.